Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is PACIS TV and welcome back to our news in English. I am Benjamin Kwizera and these are the headlines. Honorable Deputy Glorious Mukamwiza joined the leadership of Nyaruguru District and its residents in commemorating the 32nd anniversary of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. In Kibeho, some Christians who took part in a pilgrimage to Kibeho on this fourth Sunday of Easter said that the journey is never in vain because it helps them to get self-confidence in everything they do. In Kabgayi, the Bishop of Diocese called on Rwandans to have hearts filled with compassion and kindness to work toward building Rwanda free from hatred, from genocide. In international news, President Donald Trump discussed new Iran proposal on Tehran's top diplomat meets Putin. Welcome back to our news in details. In Nyaruguru District, Honorable Deputy Glorious Mukamwiza joined the leadership of Nyaruguru District and its residents in commemorating the 32nd anniversary of the genocide against the Tutsi, particularly honoring those laid to rest at Neko and Musebeya Memorial Site. News in the detail.
During the 32nd commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, special tribute was paid to more than 10,000 victims buried at Nheko and Musebeya genocide memorials located in former Chili commune, now part of Busanze sector in Nyaruguru district. Bernard Kabahuza, who gave testimony about the hardships he endured during the genocide, said that although he is still deeply saddened by not having found the bodies of his relatives to give them dignified burial, survivors have chosen the path of forgiveness toward those who harmed their family. He also urged young people to avoid revenge. It is very painful to raise children who will never know their father or their aunt. When you reach moments of celebration or times of hardships, that is when you truly understand the value of having your family. I thank the head of state and Inhotanyi for bringing us together again with those who harmed us, and we have granted forgiveness. Therefore, young people, evil should not be repaid with evil. This country belongs to all of us. No one should exclude other from it. The president of Ibuka in Nyaruguru district, Sildio Habimana, expressed gratitude on behalf of the survivors to those who showed bravely in rescuing those who were being hunted. He also commended the government of Rwanda for stopping the genocide and supporting survivors in rebuilding their lives and fostering national unity free from division. He further called on leaders to contribute supporting survivors, noting that some still face trauma and poverty. Survivors of genocide against the Tutsi carry very deep wounds, and here in Busanze, they are present. They face challenges such as poverty. For example, some who were resettled in villages no longer have land. There are also those who continue to suffer from trauma. Honorable Deputy Glorious Mukamwiza, who joined district officials and residents in commemorating the genocide in the former Chili commune, urged survivors to remain strong and rebuilding their country. She assured them that the challenges affecting their welfare will be addressed and reaffirmed that government stand with them.
I thank Sildio Habimana, who is representing Ibuka in Nyarugenge district. Their story shared with us about the survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi and how they have lived is very important. We want to assure you that you have received your message and we promise that we will serve you. What is required of all of us as Rwandans is that each person contributes to building our country.
She also emphasized the importance of all Rwandans embracing national values as foundation for strengthening unity. Additionally, she called on young people to resist anyone promoting genocide ideology that could undermine national unity, stressing that no one was created to kill or to be killed.
Some Christians who took part in a pilgrimage to Kibeho on this fourth Sunday of Easter say that the journey is never in vain because it helps them to gain the self-confidence in everything they do and enables them to contribute positively to their own lives and to society in general. Musabyimana Angelique and Maxime Ntwari Mumukuze, who participated in the pilgrimage to Kibeho this Sunday, said in interview with PACIS TV that as young people coming to pray at Kibeho to the Mother of the World brings them many blessings. They explained that when they come to present their intentions to Mother Virgin Mary, she helps them to achieve what they had failed to accomplish despite using all their strength and abilities. Kanchemeza Natasha, in her brief testimony, also reflected on the fruits she has already received from the pilgrimages she makes to Kibeho. She said that each time she visits Kibeho, she returns enriched spiritually, and that Mother Virgin Mary greatly helps her in her daily life. Father Jean Bosco Nizeyimana, Deputy Spiritual Director of Shrine of the Virgin Mary in Kibeho, referring to the message of Pope Leon XIV on Good Shepherd Sunday, addressed the Christians who had made the pilgrimage to Kibeho. He urged them to care for their spiritual lives because this is the most important thing that will help them to follow the path which Jesus called them and recognize their vocation so that they may bear good, abundant fruits. Father Jean Bosco Nizeyimana, Deputy Spiritual Director of the Shrine of Mother Mary in Kibeho, she also called on the youth not to listen to other voices speaking in their hearts, but rather to hear to the voice of Lord Jesus. He further encouraged them to obey God without ceasing or discern their calling so that they may faithfully fulfill the mission God has entrusted to them. From Kibeho straight to Kabgayi, while the Minister of Health condemned doctors who took lives instead of saving them during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, Bishop Balthazar Ntivuguruzwa, the Bishop of Kabgayi Diocese, called on Rwandans to have hearts filled with compassion and kindness and to work toward building Rwanda free from hatred and genocide. News in detail. The Minister of Health condemned the doctors who took lives instead of saving them during 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Bishop Balthazar Ntivuguruzwa of Diocese of Kabgayi called on Rwandans to have heart filled with compassion and kindness and work toward building Rwanda free from hatred and genocide. They made these remarks during a commemoration ceremony honoring religious men and women as well as employees of institutions under the Diocese of Kabgayi, including Kabgayi Hospital. They made these statements during commemoration event for religious members and staff institutions under the Diocese of Kabgayi, including Kabgayi Hospital. The ceremony was jointly organized by Diocese of Kabgayi and the Ministry of Health and was preceded by a Holy Mass. Kamogo Immaculée, one of the survivors from Kabgayi during 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, shared testimony emphasizing that living in Kabgayi during the genocide was extremely difficult. In this valley, they brought many people because it was a place where there is no hidden area. Everybody was able to see us, even from far away. Here in hospital, thank you very much for commemorating people who died here in hospital. There are many people who died here, patients, doctors. That time when soldiers injured from the battle came here, it was very dangerous and was very risky. Here in Kabgayi, we have really experienced a very bad life, but thank God that we survived. And we thank also Inkotanyi soldiers. Bishop Balthazar Ntivuguruzwa of Kabgayi Diocese called on Rwandans to build a country free from division and characterized by unity. He urged them to have hearts of goodness free from evil, noting that human heart can also be filled with malice. In the heart of the person, it is where bad ideas come from. Betrayal, robbery, killings, evilness, jealousy, and many things. When someone is filled with hatred and discrimination, it is where conflicts, violence, and all evil things that destroy family and society come from. But also, the heart may be source of good things. As we have just heard it in testimony, love, forgiveness, kindness, reconciliation, resilience, they also come from a good heart. Therefore, let us all enhance ourselves to have a very good heart a heart that filled with forgiveness instead of vengeance, heart filled with love. The Minister of Health began by praising Mukandanga Dorothy, the director of Kabgayi Nursing School, for her bravery in hiding Tutsi during the genocide, even sacrificing her own life in the process. He also condemned doctors and others in the health sector who failed to rescue people despite it being their duty to do so. The most important thing is to remember the victims of the genocide against the Tutsi, because it is our responsibility as all Rwandans. Secondly, we would like to condemn those who took part in the genocide against the Tutsi, yet they had responsibility of protecting victims. Doctors. When we talk about doctors, we talk about all kinds of doctors. Not only condemning, but on the other side, we would like also to thank those who have been brave and differ themselves from the evil. We have many doctors we would like to thank, but most specifically, I would like to thank Dorothea Mukandanga, because she was here during the period of genocide in Kabgayi. She was head of this school of nurses. She was very brave, to the extent she even lost her life. Dr. Sabin Sanzimana, Minister of Health, added that condemning those who acted cowardly during the genocide against the Tutsi by refusing to help those in danger should go hand in hand with learning lessons from history. He said that Rwandans should draw lessons from these in order to build a nation free from division and genocide ideology. During the time when Franciscan families celebrating 800th anniversary of death of St. Francis of Assisi, Christians from Karama Parish in the Archdiocese of Kigali say that promoting peace and caring for the poor are their top priorities. Since these were the fundamental principles of guided that saint, Karama Parish, located in an area known as Norvège in the city of Kigali, is one of the parishes dedicated to St. Francis of Assisi. It is here that the 800th anniversary of the death of this saint was founded. The Franciscan order was celebrated. Brother Nsabimana IKORA, secretary of the Franciscan friars in Rwanda and Burundi, explains the reasons for celebrating the life of this saint. Some lay Christians say that the actions of St. Francis of Assisi guide them in living as Christians. Brother Nsabimana IKORA, secretary of the Franciscan friars in Rwanda and Burundi, says also that Christians in general should be messengers of peace, just as St. Francis of Assisi was, especially in these times when the world is facing many challenges. St. Francis of Assisi was an Italian who died in 1226 at the age of 45. It has now been 800 years since his death. He is the founder of Franciscan order, which had the mission of caring for the poor, promoting peace, and protecting the environment. Let us take a short commercial break, and we will be right back to our international news.
I wish I could leave my skin behind.
Icy'ingenzi ntabwo ari ukugira diplome ya kaminuza. Uyu munsi birahagije kuganira n'umuntu byonyine ukamenya ko yize muri kaminuza ibonetse yose cyangwa se ko yize muri kaminuza Gatolika y'u Rwanda, Catholic University of Rwanda, by'umwihariko mu ishami ryayo rya Kigali. Ubu abazi guhitamo neza batangiye kwiyandikisha muri Catholic University of Rwanda Kigali campus ikorera Nyamirambo. Abashaka kwiga mu mashami y'uburezi kwiyandikisha mu gihembwe kizatangira mu kwezi kwa gatatu, March intake, byaratangiye muri Postgraduate Diploma in Education PGDE. Ababiga muri weekend. Hatangwa kandi amasomo muri Department of Education in Sciences mu mashami ya Economics and Computer Science, Mathematics and Computer Science, Mathematics and Geography na Mathematics and Economics. Hari kandi Department of Education in Arts and Social Sciences mu mashami ya English and Kinyarwanda, English and French, French and Kinyarwanda, English and Kiswahili, Economics and Entrepreneurship, English and History, Economics and History na Economics and Geography. Uhitamo kwiga ku manywa cyangwa se mu biruhuko. Twakira kandi abanyeshuri bafite A1 muri education bakeneye gukomeza amasomo yabo ku rwego rwa A0. Iyandikisha unyuze kuri wa3 www.cur.ac.rw. wanahamagara cyangwa ukandika ubutumwa kuri 07 83 18 86 26 cyangwa 07 33 21 46 78 cyangwa nanone 07 88 52 41 98. wanandika email kuri curkigalicampus@gmail.com.
The only way to being found is getting lost.
Hanyuma rero ugiye kutubwira impamvu zatumye uhitamo kuza gusaba akazi hano.
Bwa mbere nza gusaba akazi hano nari nabitekerejeho, mbabarire. Murakoze. Mu by'ukuri numvaga mfite ubushobozi ndetse n'ubushake.
So kutiteguye bihagije ni ukutaryama neza. Rwanda Farm, le paradis du matelas.
Vibes zose urazisanga kuri app Canal Plus. Kugeza tariki ya 30 Mata urahabwa amashani yose ya Canal Plus n'aya DSTV English Plus kuri application ya Canal Plus. Iyi promosiyo irahabwa abakiriya bafitemo abonnement. Ntucikwe. Downloading app Canal Plus kuri Play Store cyangwa se App Store. Unogerwe na programu ukunda kuri chaîne ushaka. Birenze kureba, biduha vibes.
BAKRISTU bavandimwe, cyagiye cyo gukora urugendo nyobokamana dusura igihugu cya Isiraheli dore kiregereje.
Ni uguhera ku itariki ya 15 z'ukwezi kwa gatandatu uyu mwaka kugeza ku itariki 23 z'ukwezi kwa gatandatu uyu mwaka.
Abifuza gukora urugendo nyobokamana rutegurwa na Tabor Tours barasabwa kwishyura amadolari 3,000 kuri buri muntu akubiyemo ibyo bazaba bakeneye byose.
Ibyo ni itike y'indege yo kugenda no kugaruka, visa, icumbi, amafunguro, imodoka ibatembereza ahantu hatagatifu nka Betelehemu, Nazareti, Kana, Yorodani, Yeriko, Yeruzalemu, kumva ya Yezu n'ahandi.
Hari kandi kugendera mu bwato mu nyanja ya Galileya no gusura inyanja y'umunyu. Muri izo ngendo kandi muzaba mufite abaguide babigize umwuga bazabatembereza ndetse bakanabasobanurira ayo mateka.
Muri urwo rugendo kandi tuzatura Yezu ibibazo byacu n'abacu birimo nk'uburwayi, tunamusabe kudukomeza mu kwemera.
Kwiyandikisha byaratangiye, bikorerwa kuri paruwasi ya Regina PACIS i Remera kugeza ku itariki ya 30 y'ukwezi kwa 4 2026.
Bifuza ibindi bisobanuro birambuye bahamagara kuri telefone igendanwa mubona kuri ekara zanyu.
Yashuri bose bashaka ni College Fondation Sinagera.
Mama we.
Iri ni ishuri ribumbata icyerekezo cy'u Rwanda twifuza kuko ritanga uburezi buhamye mu mashuri y'inshuke, abanza, icyiciro rusange ndetse n'amashami y'imyuga n'ubumenyingiro mu buhinzi, ubworozi, food processing, ubwubatsi, ubuganishi bw'ibinyabiziga, fashion design, gutunganya imisatsi, ububaji n'ubusuderi. Hari n'amasomo y'igihe gito short courses mu mashami yavuzwe haruguru aherekezwa na practice zihagije kuko abanyeshuri bigira mu nganda za Sinagera. Sinagera International Football Academy yigisha abana guhera ku myaka 6 gucunga ruhago sawa. Athleticism, imbyino nyarwanda no kwiga amategeko y'umuhanda no gutwara ibinyabiziga nabyo biri mu nyongera y'amasomo. Abana biga amashuri y'incuke n'abanza basoza ibyo byiciro bose bazi gutwara igare. Umwana wa segonderi we atahana uruhusa rwo gutwara ibinyabiziga. Witinda kwandikisha umwana ku ishuri kuri Nyirangarama cyangwa ku mashami ya Sinagera Entreprise Urwibutso hose mu gihugu. Ubindi bisobanuro hamagara 0788355123 cyangwa 0788355999. Twubaka ubukungu bushingiye ku bumenyi.
Well, welcome back to our international news tonight. In the Middle East, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Al-Ghachi lands in Russia to meet President Vladimir Putin to hold discussions over a variety of ongoing matters. News in detail.
Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said his trip to St. Petersburg, where he is set to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin, is a good opportunity for us to consult with our Russian colleagues regarding the developments related to the war. As you know, we have always held meetings with Russia to discuss broad issues, especially regional and international matters, and of course many issues have always been raised in our bilateral relations as well. Araghchi said in a video interview published by Iranian state media shortly after landing in Russia today. Before arriving in Russia today, Araghchi met key mediators in Pakistan and Oman over the weekend. He said that in Pakistan, they discussed the conditions under which Iran and US talks can resume. We reviewed what has taken place in the negotiations so far and the conditions under which they can continue, he said. While in Oman, Araghchi said he discussed their shared interest in the Strait of Hormuz. Safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz is now an important global issue, and naturally we must engage in a dialogue with the coastal states of this strait so that our shared interest can be secured and remain coordinated in any actions taken, he said. Besides talks with Putin, Araghchi said on his Telegram account that he will also meet his Russian counterparts. Besides talks with Putin, Araghchi said on his Telegram account that he will also meet his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov. Russia and Iran are long-standing partners, and Moscow has been a critical diplomatic ally for Tehran throughout the war with the US. Russia is the latest stop on an overseas tour for Araghchi, which has also included Pakistan and Oman, while Washington-Tehran peace talks have started.
Straight from the Middle East, straight to United States of America. President Donald Trump to discuss new Iran proposal as Tehran's top diplomat meets Putin. Source says Iranian proposal would reopen Strait of Hormuz but leave state of talks on the key demands unclear. Where things are stuck right now, United States President Donald Trump plans to meet with the top national security officials, according to two sources, after peace talks with Iran started over the weekend. President Donald Trump on Sunday defended a decision to cancel his envoy's trip to call if they want, while reiterating the war could come to an end very soon. Iran's diplomatic tour, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is in Russia ahead of meeting with the President Vladimir Putin following the meetings in Pakistan and Oman. Araghchi gave Pakistani officials a list of red lines to be conveyed to the United States of America, including on nuclear issues and the Strait of Hormuz. Oil at 3-week high. Brent crude, the global oil benchmark, is still well above $100 a barrel and hovering around a 3-week high. The Iranians have put forward a new proposal that would reopen the Strait of Hormuz but leaves the state of talks on the key U.S. demands unclear. According to sources familiar with the matter, Iran's proposal would reportedly require Washington to first end the war and provide guarantees that it would not resume, according to a report in Lebanon's Iran-aligned AI Mayadin TV that was cited by Iran's state-linked Tan news agency. Negotiations over navigation through the strait and Iran's nuclear program, key priorities for the President Donald Trump administration, would come only in later stages. If an agreement is reached, the process will move to the second phase to discuss how to manage the Strait of Hormuz after the end of the war, Al-Mayadin reported. Discussions on Iran's nuclear program would start only once those conditions are met, Axios first reported that under White House that received a proposal. The White House reiterated that President Donald Trump, who plans to gather his national security team on Monday to discuss the proposal and options moving forward. These are sensitive diplomatic discussions and U.S. will not negotiate through the press, as the president has said. The United States hold the cards and will only make a deal that puts American people first, never allowing Iran to have a nuclear weapon, Assistant Press Secretary Olivia, as he has told the CNN. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. This is PACIS TV, but before we come to an end, let's go back to the top stories. Honorable Deputy Glorious Mukamwiza joined the leadership of Nyaruguru District and its residents in commemorating the 32nd anniversary of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. In Kibeho, some Christians who took part in the pilgrimage to Kibeho on the 4th Sunday of Easter say that the journey is never in vain because it helps them to gain self-confidence in everything they do and enables them to contribute positively to their own lives and to the society in general. In Kabgayi, the head of the diocese, Bishop Baltazari Ntivuguruzwa, called all Rwandans to have hearts filled with compassion and kindness and to work toward building a Rwanda free from hatred and genocide. In international news, President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, to discuss new Iran proposal as Tehran's top diplomat meets President Putin of Russia, says Iranian proposal would reopen Strait of Hormuz but leave state of talks on key U.S. demands unclear. Thank you very much once again for being with us tonight. This is PACIS TV. I am Benjamin Kwizera. Good night.